Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Swanky Productions channel. My name's Ben. This is my 2021. Yes, it is a 21. I know it's not 2021 yet, but it's my 2021 Tenere 700. And you guys have been asking what I'm going to do for crash bars, why I don't have crash bars on it yet. And today we are finally going to answer all those questions. I've kind of let a couple of you guys know that asked that the reason I didn't have them yet was not because I wasn't going to get any, but it was because I was still waiting for them to be developed. These are going to be the DirtRacks front crash bars that you see there behind me. I have actually worked with DirtRacks in the past. If you guys watch any of my KLR 650 videos, the rear racks on the KLR were DirtRacks. And if you guys have a KLR 650 and you don't have rear racks, check those out. I think they're like $100. If you're interested in those, take a look down in the description. I'll also have a link for these down in the description. I think these may very well be the first set that's going to go on a bike in the US. If that's not the case, let me know down below if you've already got a set on your bike. So like I said, I definitely liked the crash bars that I put on the rear of the KLR 650, but these are way beefier than those were. These are a nice heavy crash bar. I am very impressed with these. I like all the bends and the angles and stuff. I think they really look slick on the bike. I've kind of already set them up there to see what they look like, and I am really happy that I waited for these. So to get this right side on here, we're gonna remove this bolt, as well as this big one right here, which connects through the frame here and then goes right into the motor. So I think this is probably one of my favorite things about these crash bars already, is how simple the installation is going to be. I don't have to remove the tank. Oh man, I don't have to remove even the side plastics here. I can do this all by just removing the actual bolts that are going to be rebolted in through the crash bars. Oh, those are tight. Oh. Yeah, maybe a ratchet wrench isn't a good idea for that. We want to break that. Seems like that's fairly tight. Does everybody already know that trick? Give you a little extra leverage. You didn't see anything move in there. So these bolts, the ones that go into the motor, are actually going to be replaced. These two I will be reusing. And just to make certain that I'm using the right bolt here, I'm going to line this up. As you can see, this one is a bit shorter, so left and right does matter here. So what I'm going to do is put the bottom of the head of this bolt flush with the bracket on the crash bar there, and it looks like those are the same length, so that's going to be the one that we want for the right side, the longer of the two. And I believe we are going to be reusing this washer, so that will be going on there like that. So I did throw some blue Loctite on here. I'm also going to be putting blue Loctite on the back two bolts. I've got my locating washer on here with the kind of protruding side out towards the bike. And then of course we've got the crash bar bracket and the bolt slung through that. So we're going to put that all on, hopefully without dropping anything. And I am not removing anything on the other side until I've got this side all torqued down, which is definitely what I would recommend doing. I don't think you want your motor just hanging out there without any motor mounts on it. I think maybe there's a couple more in the bottom, but even still, probably just better to do one side at a time. Okay, so those are not as tight as I'm going to get them. However, I want to snug this big one up first. I got to do some acrobatics here to get the wrench in the right spot, but we're getting it. I don't know that I would recommend doing this. Probably recommend looking up a torque spec. think we're gonna call that good. Crank these down. Again, just kind of trying to use a little common sense rather than a torque wrench, but I would recommend a torque wrench. Alright, so the other side should really be exactly the same as what I just did here. So I'm going to do that quick, and we'll pick back up when I put that cross brace in. So a couple things to note on this side. First of all, it seemed like all three fasteners were a lot looser than they were on the other side, so I'm not really sure what's up with that, but I'll just kind of follow suit when I go to tighten everything down. Obviously, I've got this in place already. I don't have the crossbar in there. I will be getting to showing you how to put that in just a second here. I did have it in there and kind of dry fit it just to make sure that the kind of configuration that I've got going on here is going to be correct. And it seemed like that lined up pretty well. But what I'm referring to is the fact that I don't have the stock original washer on this side, and reason being is that it's just a flat washer. It's not like a locating shoulder washer like the one on the other side, so I think this is right. And the reason being is when I kind of lined everything up just to check the bolt length like I did with the other side, it seemed like the bolt that I got in there was just a hair too short, or actually just a, there it went, washer's width too short. Basically, if you kind of line those up, the space left between the end of this bolt and the head of this one is probably about what the thickness of that crossbar bracket is. So that meaning if you add that in there, then you would basically just be about right the same length. So that's what I'm going to go with. A little bit of Loctite on these. And then we need a washer and a nut. Same thing over here. Now I am actually going to tighten both of these up and then go back and put some blue Loctite on my other fasteners and snug those down. Currently though, I do have those all kind of snugged up just to kind of keep everything in the final resting position. I've got everything tightened down with Loctite on it. One more thing to note, actually two more things on this side. You actually are able to get a socket in there with an extension. Probably don't need one quite that long, but that's pretty nice. So I would definitely recommend doing that rather than a wrench. A wrench is kind of hard to get in on this side with all the stuff you got going on in there. Those two bolts are definitely through the bracket more than enough to give you all the support you need and probably more. However, they had these little rubber deals on the back, which I don't know if they were to protect the threads maybe. I mean, I guess you got kind of dirt flying around here with the chain and grease and oil and stuff maybe. I don't know what the deal was. I don't think they're on the other side. If they were, they fell off and I didn't see them. So I guess you should probably go check that they aren't laying somewhere in the motor. But anyways, there's a little bit of thread sticking out on the other side of this, probably enough that it would hang on there for a while and maybe be okay. But I plan on riding some bumpy trails, so I think they might end up falling off and ending up down there somewhere, which wouldn't be good. So I'm gonna leave them off. Well, I've got to say that was extremely quick and extremely easy, especially compared to the test crash bars that I put on the old KLR. That was a mess of removing gas tanks and side panels and all sorts of stuff, subframe bolts. This was really a very, very quick and easy install, and I am super happy with how they look on the bike. They don't stick out too far. They are definitely on there, good and solid. I did notice there actually is a minute amount of flex in these, and I don't know if you're going to be able to really make that out from where you're at or not. Kind of moving the bike a bit too, but hopefully you can kind of see. Hopefully I'm not moving the bars too much, but there is a bit of flex to that, and I think the reason behind that is basically that all of your mounting points are kind of in a line here, so there isn't really anything that's keeping, or at least not much that's keeping it from doing that. Now obviously they're not exactly in a line. You've got two bolts here that are going to kind of help keep it from doing that. This one is offset a bit, and that one is also offset a bit. So I think that's why it is as sturdy as it is, even though they are kind of close to being in a line. But at the same time, as much as that's something that maybe you'd think you wouldn't want to see, you got to keep in mind that you don't want your crash bars to be so robust that if you go down on them hard, you end up bending the frame of the bike. I would much rather have this piece be bent and need to be replaced than this piece be bent and need to be replaced, because then you're replacing all of this. Like I said, I really like how simple these were to install. I like that they don't come up and over here. I've already got my light mounts. I don't need anything more up there. I think that they are definitely a well thought out product, yet not over engineered. I think they look pretty darn good on the bike. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment box below. Do you like how they look on the bike? I think they're probably one of my favorites. They definitely don't stick out to the point that I think they'll get in the way, but they're definitely out far enough that I think they could probably take a beating and still not cause any issues. They are not going to be in the way of my knees at all, and I don't think that they'd be really in the way of anybody else's either, even if you're taller. I don't really think that that's going to be a problem. Ooh, my keys are in my pocket. I guess my knee is kind of close to that. For me, it won't be a problem. I suppose if you're a little bit taller, you just scoot back though, right? Seems like it should be alright. Definitely don't interfere with my high fender kit at all, which I was interested to see. I wasn't really worried about it at all, but it seems like that is more than clearing, so that's a good thing. So like I said earlier, DirtRacks makes all sorts of good stuff. I really love this product. I would definitely recommend it. I think you should check it out. I'll put a link to it down in the description. But if you guys don't own a Tenere, if you own something else, don't be afraid to check out DirtRacks' website. He's got all sorts of stuff for all sorts of different bikes. Really good, solid products. If you guys want to see how these are going to hold up on the trails, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I will definitely be doing some testing on them as soon as I can. I don't know if that'll be this year yet or not. We've got some snow on the ground, but we'll see. Now that I've got a good spot to strap the bike down to, maybe I can throw in the bed of the truck and take it up north, but we'll have to see. I do actually have some other DirtRack stuff coming, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick around and find out what that's going to be. I've actually got something here already, and I've still got something coming. So big thanks to DirtRacks for sending this stuff out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky.